I think I've finally fixed the tear in this Maxxis Dissector tire. So now I just need to add some sealant, and it'll also give me an opportunity to test out this Jaco CO2 inflator. So quick backstory on this tire. After it had rained for a few days and the trails were closed, it was actually a nice day, and I decided to do some urban riding, and that lasted all of about 5 minutes until I went up a staircase, and I guess I didn't have enough pressure. The rim hit the tire into the stair, put a hole in it that was too big for the sealant to fix. So I actually took off the tire and repaired it. I've done something similar to this before and actually made a video, but basically using a tire patch on the inside, like an automotive style tire patch. And at that time I did that, and I also added some shoe goo, just kind of squished it in to the tear from the outside to give it a little bit extra protection. This time I didn't think adding that shoe goo was necessary, and I didn't do it. And basically after every single ride I went on, I was losing pressure. I could see the sealant seeping out of that spot. So I went ahead and did the shoe goo thing on this one as well. Really now all I need to do is add a little bit more sealant to it, because on all those rides that I was losing pressure, I was also losing sealant too. Like I said earlier, it's also going to give me the opportunity to test out this Jaco CO2 inflator. They sent this to me for free, but I don't have to say anything good about them or anything like that. I haven't even used it yet. I've actually never even used any CO2 inflator, so this is actually pretty interesting to me. You can see here the area that I've repaired. Like I said, there's a patch behind it. Now there's the shoe that's been pushed into the cut and then also around it. So I think that's going to be a pretty solid seal. So in order to add more sealant, I need to take the valve core out first. And I've actually done a little short video on my method of doing that. Let's go ahead and first let out some of the air. If you don't do this and you try to take your valve core out, it's going to shoot out literally, and you may lose it, especially in a situation like this, working in the back of your truck or wherever you might be. So I've got a spoke tool right here, and the number 11 fits perfectly over a valve core. Turn it a couple times, then you can get it the rest of the way with your fingers. The rest of the air comes out. All right, so now I'm just going to inject in the rest of this sealant. It's probably only like an ounce or so left, but I think that should be enough. All right, had a bit of an issue. The sealant had actually sealed up this nozzle, but now it's flowing out of there. All right, valve core back in. All right, now on to the fun part, the CO2. So let's pop this thing out of the package here. I guess you just, well, that would be the wrong way. You just screw on the inflator part. And what that does, I think it actually punctures the canister. So now the CO2 is filled into here. I'm not really sure what this is for. I don't know, maybe it gets really cold or something like that. So let's put that on here. And I guess you just so yes, it does get extremely cold. It's got frost on it. Now that was not enough to actually fill up the tire and pop. There we go. That did something. Well, as it is with anything that I do regarding mountain bike maintenance or repair, I always kind of fumble through things the first time, but it eventually worked out, and it was really just user error on my part. Setting it at the angle like this, I thought it would look good for video, but the problem was I just couldn't get enough downward pressure into the valve from this inflator. As soon as I moved it to the ground, it worked fine. It reseated my bead too, which had come off while I was messing around with the tire and messing around with the bottle of sealant that had sealed itself up. So I'm going to say this is a success with this Jaco inflator. I'll leave a link to this thing in the description. I think it's like 20 bucks on Amazon. Like I said, this is the first one I've ever used. It works well. This is not something that I would really want to cheap out on. You know, if you're on a big long ride, you want to have something that's going to get you out of a pinch, and I mean this one will do that. You know, you have the CO2 inflator, and then you'll just need something for the tire itself. If you're tubeless, you could put a plug in it, the little bacon strips, or just put an inner tube in so you could continue your ride. But anyway, fill it up, good to go. Put it back on the bike and enjoy the rest of your ride. Well, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it or got anything useful out of it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave some comments, and I will see you next time.